the day they called my niece a chimpanzee. I was sitting in my room, scrolling through Facebook when I saw it. Someone had screenshotted my sister's photo with her newborn baby and posted it in a group with over 50,000 members. The caption said, "Look at this monkey woman and her chimpanzee baby." I felt sick. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. Let me tell you about my sister, Amara. 3 years ago, Amara came home one evening with the biggest smile I'd ever seen on her face. She was 28 then, working as a teacher in our town. She sat down with me and our mother and said she'd met someone special. "His name is Chike," she said. "He's kind, he's smart, he makes me laugh every single day." Our mother asked the usual questions. What does he do? Where is he from? What church does his family attend? Then Amara said quietly, "He's a little person, a dwarf." The room went silent. I won't lie to you. My first thought was worry. Not because of Chike himself, but because I knew what people would say. I knew how cruel our community could be. Our mother's face didn't change. She just said, "Does he treat you well?" "Better than anyone ever has," Amara said. "Then bring him home for dinner." That's how it started. When Amara posted a photo with Chike on Facebook 2 weeks later, the comments came fast. Her friends from university, people from church, even cousins we hadn't spoken to in years, everyone had something to say. "Is this a joke? Amara, what happened to you? Are you okay in the head? This is what happens when a woman is desperate. Girl, any man is better than this." I watched my sister read every comment. Her hand shook as she scrolled, but she didn't delete the photo. Instead, she posted another one the next day, then another, then another. The women at church started talking, loud enough for us to hear, but pretending they didn't know we could hear. "That Amara must be cursed," one said. "No normal woman would choose that." Another said, "Her children will suffer. She's being selfish." Our mother's friends stopped calling her. The women at the market would whisper when Amara walked by. Once, I heard them laughing about how short her future would be with a dwarf husband. They thought it was funny. But here's what they didn't see. They didn't see Chike bringing Amara flowers every Friday after work. They didn't see him cooking for her when she was tired. They didn't see how he'd leave little notes in her bag that said things like, "You make the world brighter," and "Thank you for choosing me." They didn't see my sister happier than she'd ever been in her entire life. When Amara announced they were getting married, the comments online got worse, way worse. People she'd known since childhood sent her private messages telling her she was making a mistake. Her own friends from secondary school created a group chat without her, just to mock her choice. TikTok was the worst. Someone made a video about her with a sad violin playing in the background saying, "When you're so desperate, you'll take anything with a pulse." It got 200,000 views. Amara cried in my room that night. "Why do they hate me so much?" she asked. "I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just in love." I didn't have an answer. I just held her. The wedding was small. Most of her friends didn't come. Some family members made excuses, but the people who loved her showed up, and that day, Amara looked like the most beautiful bride I'd ever seen in my life. And when Chike looked at her during their vows, I saw a man who would die for my sister. I thought maybe after the wedding, people would move on, find someone else to bother. But I was wrong. When Amara got pregnant, the comments started again. "That child is going to be a dwarf too. She's cursed that baby before it's even born. Imagine bringing a child into the world knowing they'll be disabled." People who claimed to care about children were suddenly experts on genetics and suffering. They acted like they were concerned, but really they just wanted to tear my sister down. Amara stopped going on Facebook. She deleted Instagram, but she couldn't escape it. People would say things to her face now. At the hospital during her checkups, a nurse asked her, "Don't you think you are being selfish?" A woman at the market told her, "You should be ashamed." My sister, who spent her whole life helping children learn to read and write, was being called selfish by people who didn't know the first thing about her. Then the baby came, a beautiful little girl they named Chiamaka. She was perfect. Tiny fingers, tiny toes, a cry that could wake the whole neighborhood. And yes, the doctors confirmed she had dwarfism like her father. I was there in the hospital room when they told Amara. I held my breath, waiting to see how she'd react. She just smiled. Then she'll be strong like her daddy, she said. 2 weeks later, Amara posted a photo on Facebook, her first post in 8 months. It was her and Chiamaka. The baby was sleeping on her chest, and Amara was looking down at her with so much love it made my heart hurt. The caption just said, "My daughter, my world, my blessing." I knew what would happen. I begged her not to post it. "Amara, please," I said. "You know how people are. You know what they'll say." She looked at me with tired eyes. "If I hide her, I'm saying there's something wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with my baby. Nothing." Within an hour, the screenshot was everywhere. WhatsApp groups, Twitter, Facebook pages, Reddit forums. People we'd never met were commenting on my niece's appearance. "That baby looks like a chimpanzee. This is so sad. That child will never have a normal life. She's being selfish for having that child. Look at those features. I can't even." Someone created a meme. They put Chiamaka's face next to a picture of a monkey and wrote, "Spot the difference." Thousands of people shared it. Thousands. I found my sister in Chiamaka's room at 2 a.m., holding her baby and crying so hard she couldn't breathe. Her husband was rubbing her back, and he was crying too. They called our baby a monkey. Our baby. She's 2 weeks old, and they're calling her a monkey. I wanted to find every single person who had commented and make them hurt. I wanted to make them feel the pain they caused, but I couldn't. All I could do was sit with my sister and help her cry. The next morning, I expected Amara to delete her Facebook, to hide, to protect herself. Instead, she posted another photo. This time it was Chike holding Chiamaka, both of them sleeping on the couch. The caption said, "My family, perfect in every way. If you have hate in your heart, that's your problem, not ours." The comments were just as bad, but something else started happening too. Other mothers started commenting, mothers of children with disabilities, mothers who'd faced their own judgment. They said things like, "Your daughter is beautiful," and "You're a strong woman," and "Don't let them steal your joy." A woman from Kenya shared Amara's post and wrote a long caption about how her son had cerebral palsy, and people told her to abandon him. She said seeing Amara's courage gave her strength. A man from Ghana, whose brother was a little person, sent a message thanking Amara for not hiding her family. Slowly, very slowly, the narrative started to shift. Not everywhere. The cruel people were still there, still commenting, still sharing their hate. But now, there were other voices too. Amara started a blog. She wrote about her life with Chike, about Chiamaka's first smile, about the challenges they faced, but also the joy. She didn't preach, she didn't lecture, she just told her truth. Within 6 months, she had 10,000 followers, then 50,000, then 200,000. News outlets started contacting her. She did interviews, she spoke at conferences. She became a voice for families like hers, families who'd been shamed and hidden and told they were wrong for existing. But here's the thing that broke my heart and filled it at the same time. Through all this, through the insults and the memes and the cruelty, I never once saw Amara look at her daughter with anything but pure love. Never once did she seem ashamed. Never once did she wish Chiamaka was different. The hate didn't change how she felt. It just made her louder. Last month was Chiamaka's 3rd birthday. Amara threw a big party. She invited everyone, even the people who'd been cruel. Most didn't come, but some did. Some came with shame in their eyes and apologies on their lips. One of her old friends from university showed up crying. "I'm sorry," she said. "I was so wrong about everything." Amara just hugged her and said, "You are here now. That's what matters." Chiamaka is the happiest child I've ever known. She laughs all the time. She loves singing and dancing. She calls me auntie in the sweetest voice. When I hold her, she wraps her little arms around my neck and tells me she loves me. Not once has she seemed to know that the world thinks there's something wrong with her, because in her house, with her parents, there isn't. Do the insults still come? Yes. Just last week, someone commented on a new photo calling Chiamaka a genetic mistake. The cruel people haven't gone anywhere, but neither has Amara. Yesterday, she posted a video of Chiamaka taking her first steps to preschool, holding both her parents' hands. She's so tiny between them, but her smile is huge. The caption said, "She's going to change the world. Watch." And I believe her. Because if a 3-year-old girl and her mother can face this much hate and still walk forward with their heads high, still love openly, still refuse to hide, then anything is possible. The world called my niece a chimpanzee, but that baby has more humanity in her little finger than those people will ever have in their whole lives. My sister fell in love with a dwarf and people laughed at her. She married him anyway. She had her child anyway. She posted their pictures anyway. She lived her life anyway. And she's happier than any of those people making fun of her will ever be. That's not immoral. That's just a fact. I look at my sister now, 3 years later, and I see someone who's been through hell but came out stronger. Someone who chose love when the world chose hate. Someone who refused to let cruelty change her. The old women in our village used to tell a story about a woman who fell in love with someone different, someone the community rejected. In the story, the woman faced mockery and isolation. But in the end, her love broke a curse on the land and brought prosperity to everyone. I used to think it was just a folk tale, something old people told to teach lessons. But watching my sister, I think maybe those old stories were trying to tell us something true. That real strength isn't about fitting in. It's about staying true, even when everything around you says you are wrong. Amara didn't break any curses, but she broke something else. She broke the idea that we should be ashamed of who we love, that we should hide the people we care about, that some lives are worth less than others. And maybe that's the same thing after all. I don't know if this story has a happy ending yet. We're still living it. The comments still come, the stares still happen. Last week, someone told Chiamaka at the playground that she looked weird. But when I asked Amara if she ever regretted anything, she looked at me like I'd asked if she regretted breathing. Regret loving them, she said. Regret my family? Never. Not for 1 second. Not for anything. Then Chiamaka ran over and climbed into her mother's lap, and I saw it again. That pure, fierce, unbreakable love. The kind of love that survives everything. The kind that doesn't need the world's approval. The kind that just is. And I realized that the people who called my niece a chimpanzee, who mocked my sister, who spread hate across the internet, they are the ones missing out. Because they'll never know what it's like to love someone so completely that the whole world's opinion doesn't matter. They'll never know what it's like to be brave enough to choose your own happiness. They'll never know what my family knows. And that's their loss, not ours. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel for more emotional stories like this.